Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today on my channel. My name is Chris and I am totally excited to be joining a wonderful group of ladies for the love of homemade kits. I was a huge fan of this series back when Christina Sorge and Hannah Lemieux and everyone was putting it out. I would forget all the names and I don't want to forget anybody, but I have been invited to join them, and I am just 100% thrilled. So I'm a little late. Normally we will be putting out our kits on the first of every month, and I'm assuming we're going to do a layout share at the end of the month, and then we will be posting 4 videos on the Mondays using what we have in our kit. So with this, for those of you who don't know what the For Love of Homemade Kit is, this is actually a kit formula. And Christina and Hannah were nice enough to go and print up a lovely formula. Now with like any kind of a recipe, you can substitute ingredients. So if there's something in here that you don't have, try and find something in your stash that's comparable. The great thing about this is that it really gets you digging in and looking at things that you have and trying to use them up and in a fun way. So in the description box below, I will have linked to everyone that has put out kits for this month, but it also, we have a shared folder of all the videos that we'll be linking to. So when you go into the display list, it will have everyone's videos that will be going and doing layouts for the month. And we're going to do a new playlist for each month so you can keep track of the formula with the layouts and what everyone's interpretation of these are. So I'm going to go ahead and get going so that we're not taking all day. So in this square here, it's paper. So we have 5 different papers, and the first one that they're starting out with is wood grain. So I have this one here, and it's more of a beachy. Now one of the things that they had in here is there's glitter, and so I had 2 ways of going with my kit. I could either go with Christmas, which I don't know about you, but I'm a little burned out on Christmas right now and want to change. Or I could go with, I have a vacation trip to North Carolina and I have some thickers that have a little bit of glitter on them and they look more like sand. So I'm going that route. So my kit's going to be more beachy, vacation themed, more like North Carolina, the soft, the whitewashed kind of look. So that's why I picked this for one of my backgrounds. Then the next was a stripe. And I don't know where this paper came from. It's out of a paper pad. But if you can tell, it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. And so, again, it got that glitter look without bringing in the glitter. And then it has, and to me, it's that sandy colored, kind of like the whitewashed look with that whitewashed blue. So that's my stripe. And for my floral, I have this pink, and it kind of brightens it up, but it still has the blue from the stripes. It's in the kind of the blue-green in the leaves. So I thought that worked, but then it brings in another 2 colors. I can go with either the green, actually it's 3, the green, the yellow, the pink, and then into the blues. The next they asked for is a colored piece of cardstock, and before I forget, the first one was Teresa Collins, Now and Then. Again, I don't know what the second one is, and again, I think this one came from a paper pad, so I'm not sure what this one is either. This next one, which is for a colored, mostly one tone, I'm picking this blue. Again, trying to bring out some of the blues, more of the washed beachy look. And this is from Pink Paisley. This would be a Paige Evans design from Her Turn the Page collection. So I'm using it for this side. And then the last thing they wanted was a black and white paper. And so because I'm kind of to the whitewashed beachy color, I went more with a cream tone, and then it's got the blackish gray text on it, but it also has pops of gold, which kind of reminds me of the sand and the sun and those kind of colors. So the next thing I wanted was an unfinished mixed media background that you previously started or purchased. I don't have any. So again, I kind of looked at my stash, and I have this piece of paper from Turn the Page, and also Pink Paisley, and it kind of has that watercolored brushed look. So I'm using this as kind of my mixed media. I will maybe bring in some mixed media to the layouts as I create. I don't know. We'll see what happens as I go. But this is going to be my mixed media paper. And again, they all kind of have the same whitewash tones going with it. Now I'm kind of adding ingredients, because you know everyone, when they get a recipe, have to add their special ingredients. So I am also adding a couple more pieces of paper. So I have this paper from Now and Then by Jen Allison. It's got gold stripes on one side, and then this pink, and again it's kind of that washed out pink polka dot. So I wanted to bring a little bit more pink in. They're a little bit different tones, but I'll be making 4 layouts, so I can try and divide these up on different layouts and not have them together. And then, because these are going to be North Carolina pictures, this is just a piece of paper from Hobby Lobby, Paper Studio, very cheap, but it's got that kind of North Carolina boat, beach, whitewashed kind of a look. And again, it brings in more of that sandy brown tone. It's got a little bit of the green in there, a little bit of the pink tones, which kind of pulls out like in the mountains here. And I thought I could go and possibly fussy cut some of this out or use it in strips. And it even brings in some of that blue. Then I also went into my scraps and pulled in a little bit of my scraps, trying to use them up. I don't think every color in here will work, but I think some of these arrows, if I cut them out, like this pink here, more of the chevron with the brown and gray, and if I don't use it, I don't use it. I'm just pulling it in as a possibility to use. And then this side is just a grid. And again, that kind of goes with this, so I could even use this side. Again, not saying I'm going to use it, but bringing in for options. I had a piece of pink that was cardstock that was in my stash. This is just another grayish tone stripe that I thought I could use and pull in a little of the gray and maybe use for matting. I had a scrap of this pink stripe. This is kind of like an off-white tone with the triangles on it, but it's got the black and the pink and a little bit of the blue, so I thought that might be able to be tucked in somewhere. And then I brought this piece in, which I think is like from a Michael's paper pad, but I like the flowers, and they've got the blue centers that I think will go with my papers. So I would probably bring this in to fussy cut. As you can see, I've already started on some of them. And so I'm bringing this scrap in to maybe fussy cut some flowers to use for tucking. So that is my papers. For embellishments, they want ribbon. So I have like a cookie jar that is full of cut off pieces of ribbon that I've used over the years. And every time I take some off the roll, I just shove whatever's left over into the jar. So I went into there and I found this kind of a green tone gingham with a little bit of that brown tone. So again, it kind of gives me that sandy beach look. Some of the greens that's in here. This one's just tan. I think this one came from like actually they both came from Stampin' Up. And then I had a offcut of this blue with a little silver polka dots on it. So I'll try and get some of that incorporated in. Then the next thing they want is something dimensional. So I have these stickers that are from Hobby Lobby. They are Momenta, and it just has things like Down by the Sea, which is a wood veneer, Cork Beach. Some of the colors don't necessarily work. They're a little bit brighter, and I won't be bringing in the red, but I think like the beach and the wood tone ones I can definitely get used in. And then I also brought in these puffy stickers. These are from Pink Fresh, Let Your Heart Decide. And now again, all of them won't work, but there are some of these blue flowers, hearts, the pink and white, It's All About You, Love Always, and it was a trip with my husband. So I thought some of these could be incorporated in. Let's see. They wanted Project Life or large die cut. So I didn't have time to go digging through my Project Life cards because they're not organized like they should be. So instead I have these that have already been cut, and these are from Paige Evans, and they are one of her free cut files that she has for her Facebook group. And so I've had these cut and sitting in my stash for this project. So I went ahead and grabbed these, and it's just shells. So I thought I could go ahead and maybe with the mixed media element, maybe spray these or watercolor them and do something with these to get these used on my layout. So those are my die cut. Something with glitter. Again, I brought in the paper that has that glitter tone, but I'm also bringing in the Studio G. So I think this is like from Walmart. It's gold, kind of like Stickles, so glitter glue. And so that's going to come in and be used as one of my elements for glitter. Flare badge or epoxy, and I've had these in my kit for a while for this vacation trip. So these are just some flares. This is the Harbor, Sailor, this is Sandy Shores. The green, the blue is not quite the right. It would depend on what I put it with to see if it can be used. This one's just like a paid stamp, like a royal crown, like you'd see in the Bahamas, and then an anchor. And like this one I know I could use, and even this one. Let's see, sticker sheets. So I have a little bit of embellishments. I probably grabbed more than most people are doing, only because there's not everything on these can work. So like here I pulled in this from Whimsical, and what I liked about it is like you have like some of the flat hearts, they're in the pink. On this side, like this flower would work. It's got the right blues and pinks in it. Happy life, you know, what's happier than sitting on a beach? The clouds are in pink and blue. So there's not a ton that I can use on here, but there are elements that I can pull in that are in the color families that are in my paper. So I have that one. And then I have just from Paper Studios, these have been in my stash. They're just stickers with shells, but also a couple of these border strips, sorry. Border strips that can be used on my layouts. And again, I can tuck these shells in and try and make them look more current. This is from the Pier Crate Paper. I got this from a Peachy Cheap grab box a while back, and I've never used it. So I'm thinking like the geotag and some of these elements can be used. Some of the labels can be tucked in. From Paper Studio, I have this sticker sheet left. I would love to try and get some of this used up. I don't know about the lobsters, but you know, even for tucking elements in, I might be able to use a few more. And then I have this Prima. It's Saint-Tropez, and it's the puffy stickers. Again, not sure on this one because some of the blues are not the right, but the butterfly I think might work, and Our Happy Life would work. Love You. So there's things in here that would. The flower, The sunglasses I think would work. It just depends on the color and how I match everything up. Then it wanted chunky glitter or foil. Again, I don't have glitter, so I tried to pull that in with the glitter glue and the paper, but I also brought it in. It said to bring in an alpha that matches one of your pattern papers, and then an alpha from the same collection or element kit. Well, I get my paper all over the place, so I don't necessarily know if any of them have alphas that go with their kit. So I just brought 2 out of my stash that will work. So I brought in this Dear Lizzy, and this has got glitter, but I liked it because it kind of reminded me of sand. So again, for the beach pictures, I think this will be great. I grabbed in the pink, and again, this has some glitter on it, so this, bringing in the glitter element and the pink, which matches my paper, and this is just Paper Studio. And then I brought in an extra small alpha. These are from October Afternoon, and they're just off-white with the pink. And then I did bring in these stickers. They're sun-kissed, and I forget which collection they came from, and hoping I can get 1 or 2 on a layout. And then a couple little extras that I'm throwing in just because I always use doilies. I'm bringing in a couple of them just for tucking elements. And then from Dear Lizzy, on one of her sheets, I'm bringing in just a couple of her little card parts, and it's from the same collection from her Whimsical. It's just one of her pattern papers, and I'm using this as a cut apart a few. So that is my kit. I want to thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, leave them in the box below, and I'll have my first layout on Monday. Thanks so much for watching.